Well, it looks like my Gmade Buffalo herd is growing because we've just added the Ready to Run to the mix. And this looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun for those that just wanna go out and crawl and don't wanna do the whole building thing. So let's take a closer look at this new rig. Well, this new Ready to Run rig, I should say, because we've reviewed the kits here on the channel before. And if you've seen those reviews, which I'll link to in the video description, I'll put some cards up above throughout the video as well. There's some really great kits. A lot of people are enjoying the Gmade Buffalo, and this one I believe a lot of people are going to enjoy it as well. Check this thing out. It looks so cool. Everything blacked out on it. A basically murdered out Chevrolet Blazer. It's not a licensed body, but we could tell from the lines on here, the headlights, the taillights, that it's modeled after a Chevy Blazer. But just look at this thing. It's so cool. Now it comes assembled, obviously, because it's a Ready to Run. You will, however, have to put on the decals. And as you can see, they gave us gray window decals. Really wish that they left the windows clear. They actually masked off the tail lights, so the tail lights are clear, because you can go ahead and put LED lights in this model if you want to, but they didn't leave the windows clear. That would have been awesome. That would have just set this Ready to Run over the top. However, you know, we've got these grayed out windows, and if you want to, you could do the whole sanding thing, sand down the windows themselves, tint them, and they will look pretty good. But for those that don't want to go through that hassle, it does look okay, and it just takes a few minutes to apply those decals. Love the rest of the lines on here. Again, I love the black. I like the fender flares. They are separate pieces. The bumper, check out this bumper. Really nice looking bumper. It's different from the others that we've seen before. This one has the grill guard up front, or the meat tenderizer, whatever you want to call it, which makes it look really cool. Like the black grill, it is a molded black grill behind it, clear lenses for the headlights. Again, you can go ahead and put LED lights in there. And let me spin it around really quick just so you can see the rear of this thing. Again, the rear taillights are clear. There is a mount for LEDs behind there, and you would have to take these decals off because these are back, so the light isn't even gonna shine through them. We also have mirrors. We have got windshield wipers, and then this is probably the coolest part. Check it out, a whip antenna. Love that. Adds to the fun of this crawler. And then the body mounting is pretty unique on this. If you haven't seen it before, the front drops in, the clips are mounted, or the clips are located underneath the front here, and the back bumper slides into the rear brace on the chassis. So let me go slide that out really quick. Well, kind of quick. It's a little tight, which is pretty good, but there we go. Pull that out, and you can see, you know, there are your LED light mounts inside. We've got some rubber O-rings to help damp the accessories that are bolted to the body. Very cool looking. Now let's get to this chassis here, and it's just like the chassis we've seen before on the other Gmade Buffaloes. Steel ladder frame chassis, C-channel rails, really good layout on this. All the weight is forward on it, which is what you want in a crawler. You'll get that weight up front, help this rig pull itself up and over obstacles. As you can see, we've got inner fenders, which is really nice on Ready to Run. Floor pans. Here is the battery mount. It is adjustable, so you can put a shorty pack in here or a standard pack. We're gonna run a 3S shorty pack. Actually, probably run a Helios 3S shorty pack or a Reedy Wolf pack, but we've got cross braces over the shock towers. You could even put a cooling fan up front. Let's see, there's just, you know, your standard cross bracing out back, and then let me just touch on this really quick. Waterproof radio box. So good looking chassis on this. I'll flip it over so you can see some more of the business end of this thing. Nice smooth skid plate in the center, and then let's get into the suspension. So as you can see, aluminum links from the factory, nice thick aluminum links as well. There are plastic ball studs in the ball ends there, but they do offer a metal option if you want to switch to that. Even aluminum links up front, and a steel link for the pan hard bar, but there's the aluminum steering links. Your standard setup, chassis mounted steering servo. Then they have aluminum shocks, and these shocks feel really nice from the factory, like the aluminum body on there and the thick shock shaft. Some crawlers I notice have, you know, thinner shock shafts, so I like the more durable thick shock shaft on here. Wheelbase is adjustable if you want to go and change things up for the body. However, you might have to swap out the lower links. And let's move on to the transmission now. It's got a 2-speed transmission in here. and it is set up from the factory to use that 2-speed. You don't have to go buy anything else additionally or swap stuff out later on down the road. Everything is here. Metal gears on the inside, slipper clutch. There's your shift servo right there, and there's overdrive built into the transmission, which is really cool. So that again will help this rig pull itself up and over obstacles. Love the axles on this. Love the straight line from the center of the transmission down to the centered rear axle, and then we've got an offset front axle. You know, your ring and pinion gear offset in the front here. Metal gears in there as well, and CV type drive shafts, all ball bearings, even the cast metal diff covers. I love that. You know, I actually like the pickup version better because those are chrome, but these look cool too as the cast versions. Let's get into the electronics now. So we've got a 27 turn 540 motor up front, just your standard silver can style motor. Gmade speed controller, looks like a hobby wing to me. Your 1060 base speed controller with adjustable drag brake. You also have a little tab in here. You go swap to go from nickel metal hydride to LiPo. It comes set in LiPo. Again, there's your radio box and shift servo. And then for the steering servo, it is a metal geared high torque servo. So I don't know the exact specs on it, but at least it's metal geared. It's got some torque spec to it. So it should handle steering well. And then down here at the wheels and tires, they are glued tires to the wheels, like the black hole style wheel, and then the super swamper like tires. But look at that rubber compound, really, really soft. That should help grab onto the rocks and stuff. And then let me show you what else comes in the kit. It comes with all the extra parts that you would have gotten if you assembled the kit, even greases and oils. There's your instructions to help walk you through the ready to run and getting it up and going. The decals, again, the decals you do have to apply. And then the radio system here, kind of your basic 2.4 gigahertz radio system. At least it's got digital trims, looks pretty good, feels pretty comfortable. That's the box that it comes in. And now let's head outside and take this rig for a drive. All right, drivers, I'm down at the local park where I bring a lot of scale crawlers to test out. I absolutely love this spot. I come here with my family a lot, and it's just a great trail to walk. There's not a ton of rocks to challenge crawlers on, but with this rig, I think it's just gonna be a lot of fun to hit the cool spots on this trail and show you how it works. All right, let me fire it up and we'll get going. Okay, so I got you guys a bunch of really cool action footage, and I'm stopping right here because I need to show you guys the buffalo crawling this rock. I have brought a bunch of crawlers here, and a bunch of them have rolled down the hill. Some of them have even gone in the water, but wait till you see what the buffalo does. All right, so first up, we're gonna hit this spot right here. Love this spot, love wrapping the truck around the tree, getting the tires up on the rock, just clearing the bumper. It looks so cool. Love the suspension twist. Just a really neat spot. All right, let me spin it back around here so you can see it going through the other way. Steering is pretty tight on this considering, but look at this thing. It'll just spin right around this tree. Look at that suspension twist. So cool. Awesome. All right. Now let me get it down here so you guys could see what this thing could crawl. Now you could see the vertical tree here. You could see the angle of this rock. Let me spin it down and around. There we go. Line it up. Now watch this thing just crawl right up. I'm on a little bit of an angle here. And look at that thing. Up, lifting a little wheel. Oh, a little twist, still control. Still controlled. There we go. Nice. Up and over. Oh, high side a little bit. There we go. Hit the tree. Hit the tree again. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to give it a little bit more of an incline test here. And this is pretty intense. This incline right here. So let's see if it could do it. It's got a tree root stuck at the bottom, of course. Oh, we could do this. Spinning, up. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's doing it. There we go. That's impressive. All right, I had a blast with this thing. Let's head back to the workshop, guys. What I learned about the Buffalo Ready to Run when I first took it out was it is way too fast on a 3S battery pack. Usually I like to run a 3S battery pack in the crawler so I have the power to bump up and over rocks and stuff like that. But in this truck, it is a lot. In fact, I threw a GNSS meter on there, and this thing tops out at 16 miles an hour, which is pretty crazy for a crawler like this. Went and threw a 2S battery pack in there, and it tops out at 10 miles an hour in high gear, both of those speeds. So it is much more at home with a 2S pack in there. And so all the running that you guys saw was on a 3S battery pack through the trails and stuff, and it's a little bit uncontrollable. The suspension is really soft in this thing, which is good if you're running a 2S pack. But I wanted to just show you guys the raw footage. I didn't slow anything down, so you could just kind of see how finicky the throttle is when you let off the throttle. There's so much drag brake that the thing wants to flip over on 3S. So what I'm saying here is, if you get this crawler, run it on 2S. I went back out later with the 2S pack, had way more fun with it driving with the Tamer pack in there. So much more throttle management with the speed controller. I still think an aftermarket speed controller would be better, like a Tiken BRZ or a Holmes Hobby BRXL. But this will definitely get you going. It has a lot of drag brake for the descents. Plenty of steering in this truck. That servo has plenty of torque. We've got a 45-degree steering angle. So right out of the box, it's impressive for a ready to run. And again, the crawling, I did find some rocks to give this thing a challenge. The overdrive is awesome. The soft suspension, it works really well in allowing this thing to articulate over the rocks. A little bit of torque twist that I noticed, but I really enjoyed the crawling experience. And I said that before with the other Buffalo kits. This one is no exception. It's just built for you, and it's a really fun drive, a really capable rig. And I believe you could, if I remember correctly, throw some brass weights, some axial brass knuckles on here. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but adding just a little bit more weight to this would just knock it out of the park. So really cool kit, really worth it. I mean, Gmade, these guys need some more recognition because they put out a really good crawler. Nothing really bad to report, a little bit of clicking in the transmission, which you guys could probably hear in the video. Also, it sounds like the front CVs are dry, so maybe you want to go ahead and grease those on your first maintenance routine. But other than that, you know, actually run that Shorty LiPo battery pack if you could, a 2S Shorty LiPo, just to get that weight centralized, and with that soft suspension, I think it just worked really well. That's what I found. There are some option parts from Gmade. I've got a front steering plate here, some LED lights. I've got the roof rack, so I am gonna put those on at some point. It'll be a quick video here on the channel, so if you don't want to miss that, hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell, throw the video a like, and I will have a playlist at the end as well of the other Gmade crawlers that we've had here on the channel. So check that out right now.